Hello everyone and welcome to the Transit Nomad family, Bangkok versus KL, travel comparison and visitation tips for 2026. Before we get started, whether you're currently in Asia, Europe, USA or anywhere else, if you haven't done much long-term or long-distance traveling lately, I would like to challenge you to broaden your horizons and give it a try. When you visit new places, you might find yourself feeling happier and more fulfilled with new ideas, inspiration, and motivation to accomplish your life goals. And it's not just my personal opinion, it's confirmed by scientific research. In the worst case scenario, you'll just learn how to appreciate your home country more. Either way, it should be a win-win situation, and as an active traveler and business owner with experience, I might be able to assist you with trip planning, life coaching, and business consulting, with all the details available at buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad or through the link in the video description below. This is where you can also find lots of exclusive content on many different cities around the world, my secret tips, PDF guides, and the option to request a custom video on any topic that matters to you. With that being said, I'm currently located in Kuala Lumpur, which is the capital of Malaysia, inside one of their most famous malls. It's called the TRX Exchange. I really appreciate the interior design of this mall. Highly recommend checking it out if you are in town. And let's begin discussing the similarities and the differences between Kuala Lumpur and Bangkok, since I spent a considerable amount of time in both of these cities over the years, and I like them both, but they do have some things that make each city stand out in a good or in a bad way. When it comes to prices, I feel that the cost of life in the most developed parts of the city in Kuala Lumpur is more affordable. It's less expensive. What do I mean by developed areas? I mean areas that have sidewalks, that have access to decent public transportation, that have access to gyms and these kind of elegant malls, and generally speaking that are kind of like okay for foreigners to feel that they don't have to struggle too much to get around and get things done. And when it comes to areas like this, the prices of accommodations in Kuala Lumpur are a lot more affordable. Basically, it's about half or maybe even 1/3 of what you would pay for something similar in Bangkok. For example, I'm staying in the heart of the city center in Bukit Bintang area, not too far away from here, and I'm paying less than $35 per day for a luxurious apartment. It's huge, it has plenty of space, so I can work remotely on my computer. It also has a gym, it has a pool, it has a private balcony where I can enjoy the city views, a large kitchen, plenty of space for everything I need to do every day, and also it's very quiet, very comfortable for getting a good night's sleep. Overall, it's a very good place, one of the best places I've ever stayed in my whole life. And again, the city views are amazing, and I'm paying less than $35 per day for that place. If you want to take a look at the tour, I should have a video on my YouTube channel showing you that apartment in detail. Now in Bangkok, of course, you can find lots of options like that too, but if you want it to be right next to public transportation and right next to elegant malls and other things that the city has to offer, especially when it comes to foreigners, maybe Western food choices and things like that, it's gonna cost a lot more. Also, if you want to have more space, if you want the place to be quiet, if you want to have extra amenities, it's gonna cost more, most likely maybe double of what you would pay here in Kuala Lumpur. Again, I'm talking specifically about the most developed areas. If you're talking about other kinds of areas that are more local, I'm pretty sure Bangkok has a lot of really good deals as well. Even if you consider Khao San Road and Chinatown and those historic city districts, they have some really awesome cheap places where you can stay and explore the city. But if you care about what kind of place you have, maybe you need to work from home, maybe you really want to have a quiet environment, maybe you really need to have access to Western supermarkets or big gyms, and you want to walk around, you want to use public transportation, you don't want to share your space with a bunch of cars and motorcycles, then this is where this cost becomes very, very dramatic. I had to pause for a sec because that guy is talking way louder than me. Okay, so I did mention about the prices. As far as overall infrastructure in these cities, both of them have areas that are good for pedestrians and good for walking around, but also both of them have areas that are not so good for walking around, meaning the sidewalks might be missing, or you might have a hard time crossing the street, going to the other side. It might take some time to figure out how to get to the other side because there is no crossing and there's like a very wide road in between, or you might be walking on the sidewalk and it becomes more and more narrow and then it suddenly disappears, or you might find yourself sharing your road with the cars and the motorcycles, and they are not really slowing down for people that much. It's part of their local culture here in Southeast Asia, and this is one of the things that Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur have in common. So I do think it's kind of important to stay in areas that are more developed, at least for me. But if it doesn't matter to you, then you can find good deals in both parts of the city. Now, let's talk a little bit about all the activities and things to do and places to visit, because that is very important. Whether you are traveling short term or you're traveling for a long time, you don't want to get bored. And both of these cities, they have a lot of different activities. I do find them both to be very enjoyable for exploring. They have a variety of different luxurious malls, like the ones that we are exploring right now. Also, they have a lot of beautiful parks, a lot of really awesome temples and other religious sites. Also, lots of historic city streets that are worth exploring, different kinds of fountains, light shows, you name it. Both of these cities, they are awesome to do sightseeing in. But if you're staying long term, I feel that Bangkok has more variety and more options and more abundance of different entertainment activities, especially when it comes to nightlife. I do feel that in Kuala Lumpur, the culture here is a little bit more conservative. They have some more rules that they follow, and this means that alcohol consumption or nightclubs, they are not as common, although they still like to hang out on Friday night, go into the night market. Maybe they have a band playing and everybody is hanging out and eating some food, but it's not as wild as Bangkok, where people are getting insanely drunk. Also in Bangkok, you have more visitors, more foreigners, and more businesses catering to those visitors. So they have massive nightclubs, huge bars, rooftop places where there is a nightlife going on until very late at night or early in the morning, and many different parts of the city. You're not gonna get bored. You're always gonna have places to go and places to explore. And this also applies to morning activities or afternoon activities. If you want to go to temples, if you want to go to parks, you want to go hiking, you want to ride a boat, I feel that Bangkok has more things to do, more places to visit, more places to explore than Kuala Lumpur. You're not gonna feel that much difference if you're staying for a few days or for a week. But if you're staying for a month, then you're gonna feel like, oh, actually in Bangkok I still haven't done this, haven't done that, and I'm still planning to go here and go there, and I still haven't explored this and that. And you're gonna have your list of things to do, places to visit, and you're gonna keep adding more places to that list because Bangkok has so much to offer. But in Kuala Lumpur, your list might be getting shorter as time goes by, and if you're staying more than a couple of weeks, you might start getting a little bit bored, unless you're not looking for that much entertainment. You just want to have a peaceful, comfortable life in a very comfortable, elegant, luxurious place. Then Kuala Lumpur might be better, especially if you're doing remote work. I think it might be a better option in that case. They also have a lot of things in common, as I mentioned. As far as the friendly locals, and the overall experience, the architecture, all these modern skyscrapers and the malls, they share a lot of similarities. Sometimes you're walking around in Kuala Lumpur and you might think that you are in Bangkok, and vice versa. You're walking in Bangkok, you might think you are in Kuala Lumpur. Also, when it comes to those night markets and how chaotic everything is, also that part is something that these two cities share in common. So to make a long story short, I recommend visiting both of these cities. They're not that far away from each other, and if you have time, spend a week in Bangkok, spend a week in Kuala Lumpur, and decide which city is best for you if you are looking for a place to stay longer. Again, I feel that Bangkok offers more variety, more activities. It's a little bit more expensive if you want to live in a developed area, but you get a little bit better value when it comes to all the things you can do in that city. In Kuala Lumpur, you get better accommodations for less money, but not as much stuff to do in the city. Also, if you are sensitive to odors, it's less common in Bangkok, because here in Kuala Lumpur, it is against the religion to use deodorant, or it's against of the local culture, and you might share your space with people who don't smell as good. This can be a problem in many different cities, but in Kuala Lumpur it's a little bit more common because people don't use deodorants. Also in Bangkok, they have a season that is a little bit cooler, but here in Kuala Lumpur most of the time it's really either hot and humid or it's raining, and it's not easy to find a time when it's good to explore the outdoors. But with that being said, I'm currently in East and Southeast Asia for a few months. And during this time, I'm recording lots of exclusive content, comparing many different cities in the region to help you decide which ones you should visit. For example, Singapore is one of the most expensive destinations in the world. But I know a way how you can save hundreds or maybe even thousands of dollars when visiting Singapore, and it's not something that others talk about on YouTube. So head over to buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad using the link below and donate any amount of your choice, no matter how big or how small, to get access to my most helpful exclusive content that includes Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok, Hong Kong, and many other cities on Europe, Asia, and the United States. Thank you everyone for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. I appreciate you being a part of the Transit Nomad family and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.